1 week, 7 days, 168 hours. That's how long the Armin Strom 1 week will keep running. The name is a very logical and quite frankly self-explanatory one, that much is quite obvious, but there's a lot more to the Armin Strom 1 week first edition than just a very long power reserve. The 1 week collection was first introduced in 2010 but has been completely redesigned just a couple of months ago. Presented during the 2023 edition of the Geneva Watch Days, the all-new Armin Strom 1 week received a much sportier look following the style of the Orbit. And this new and edgier vibe of Armin Strom is reflected in a 41mm wide stainless steel case that comes in at a comfortable height of 10.6mm top to bottom. The shape is in line with the design codes of the ever-popular luxury sports watch, and its case has a predominantly brushed finish with fine polished edges here and there to enhance its appeal. And the same goes for the polished bezel, which proudly sits on top of the otherwise flat front of the watch. And on the right, a pair of crown guards protrude outwards and embrace the screw-down crown. Both the front and back side of the watch are covered by a flat sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating to minimize glare, and with a water resistance of 100 meters, it also lives up to its sporty edge. And now that we've gotten the basics out of the way, let's explore the mechanics in a bit more detail. Armin Strom is one of the most revered independent watchmakers, known for its original and innovative technical solutions, open-work movement construction and a very high level of finishing. And being an independent brand that does almost everything in-house allows them to be creative in design but also in movement development. When the 1 week made its debut almost a decade and a half ago, there weren't that many watches around with a power reserve to the extent of a full week. And in all fairness, even today it's quite uncommon to have such a lengthy running time. It was introduced shortly after a change in leadership as Claude Greisler and Serge Michel took over the company in 2006. And ever since, Armin Strom has been an advocate of fine and innovative watchmaking, sometimes even doing things no one else thought possible. Using the principle of resonance in a wristwatch, for instance, as Armin Strom was one of the few brands to master the phenomenon first discovered by Christian Huygens. But that's a story for a different time. What has to be said though is that more often than not, watches by Armin Strom are true watchmaking lessons on the wrist. Exposed mechanics, high levels of finishing, intricate movements and complications, and so on. The movement for the 1 week, dubbed caliber ARM21, maintains the open work aesthetics of all the brand's watches. This completely new developed caliber moves the hour and minute hands to the very center of the watch, where in the previous 1 week they were slightly pushed to one side. And given the fact it lacks a traditional dial, you also have full view of the double barrel system that provides the lengthy 7-day power reserve. And on the left side there's a small second sub-dial. All the gears that connect the crown to the keyless works and the barrels are fully exposed, as well as the gears that drive the hands. And it would be rather practical for a manually wound watch to have some sort of power reserve indicator, and the 1 week ticks that box as well. Driven by the bottom barrel, 2 connected symmetrical conical gears make up the mechanism for the power reserve, with the one at 11 o'clock showing you just how much energy is left. Unique to this first edition is the light blue finish on the main plate and bridges, and as ever, all parts are meticulously finished. Think Geneva stripes on a 3/4 plate, beveled and polished edges, straight and circular graining, polished screws and sinks, and so on. Getting up close with this watch reveals a ton of detail everywhere you look. Take the finger bridges for instance, which is a signature element in Armin Strom's watches. It really is a celebration of mechanics, aesthetics and finishing from top to bottom. The 1 week first edition comes on a stainless steel bracelet with brushed and polished links, which is neatly integrated into the sloping ends of the case, and is closed with a folding buckle decorated with the brand's logo. This first edition is limited to just 25 pieces, exclusively sold through Armin Strom's website, but more editions will surely follow. Priced at €37,000, it's far from a cheap watch, but the attention to detail, the clever movement construction and very long power reserve more than make up for that hefty price tag. And to us, it is yet again a perfect example of Armin Strom's creativity and technical ability, even though it's not as complex as the brand's resonance watches. Let us know what you think of this new sportier side of the 1 week in the comments down below. And thank you for watching Monochrome, and I'll see you in the next video.